Hi, this is Natalie DiMarino, and welcome to the Miss Pittsburgh TV Showcase. Today we're going to be speaking with Lexie Harmon. She is National American Miss Pennsylvania. Hi Lexie, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Natalie. How are you?
Good, good. So, what made you become interested in pageants?
Well, it's kind of a funny story, actually. I was an athlete my whole life. I never thought that I was going to get into pageants. I knew that they usually had talent in swimsuit, and my dad definitely didn't want me to do swimsuit, and I was like, what am I going to do, juggle a soccer ball on a stage? But my sophomore year of high school, I was nominated for a pageant called National American Miss, what I'm currently the title holder of. And when we researched it, we found out that it's actually all about building confidence in girls. And my mom fell in love with the system before I even really knew that I was nominated. She had already looked it up and was texting me you got this thing in the mail. So I went to the open call, and I just really fell in love with the idea of it and how cool of an opportunity it would be. And at that time in my life, I didn't really see myself as shy, but I was. I couldn't even give speeches in front of classes, and so it was a really cool opportunity and something I never really thought I was going to be able to do.
Oh, that is fantastic. Part of the Miss Pittsburgh TV Showcase is to highlight the confidence that pageantry can bring to women and different women throughout the city of Pittsburgh who have made and empowered other women through their career and through their lives. So that is awesome to hear that you were able to build so much confidence competing in National American Miss. Okay, so how many times did you compete from your title, and what did you learn from those experiences?
So I competed for 4 years before I won. I won during my 5th year in the Miss division, and I learned a lot throughout those years. In the beginning, like I said, I didn't think that I was shy, but then I got ready to go on stage, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to get on a stage right now, and hundreds of people are about to be staring at me. So I just really kind of wung it, and I was like, okay, the National American Miss system has 3 different parts. It has an interview, an introduction, which is on stage, and then your formal wear, which is on stage. And so I was like, well, if I'm going to do this, I have to be good at something. So I decided that I was going to be good at interviewing because I was going to be like, I can talk to people. So that was where my confidence just started to grow from there. I started doing that. In my first year, I made the top 10, and I didn't know how to walk, didn't know how to do my hair, didn't know what kind of dress I needed or anything, and that just really grew my confidence. And over the years, when I would advance, but maybe not particularly win, I was growing these friendships, and I was really just growing in who I was, and I started not being as scared to get on stage and talk in front of people. And they have an optional competition that you can actually win money when you compete, and so I decided to do it, and it was a speech giving competition, and it's about a 1.5-minute time speech, and you are going through, and I was getting super nervous before I got on stage, and then I did it, and I won. And it was this whole well-rounded, okay, you are no longer that person that can't speak in front of people. And so that's why I'm so thankful that I get to represent it and promote it, because I know how much I've grown from it.
That's awesome. That's so cool. Okay, so now what's your favorite thing? I know you're getting close to crown your successor. What is your favorite thing so far about being National American Miss Pennsylvania?
Oh, that's a hard question. But I would say that 2 of my favorite things are, one is definitely promoting the system, because I love it and I know how much I've grown from it and the confidence that I've grown. And for me to be able to, when a little girl comes running up to me or wants to get a picture with me, and I can sit down and just talk to her and just be like, so what are your dreams? What do you want to do with your life? And just to be able to make her feel special and confident and tell her that any dream that she wants to do, she can achieve. And if that's through pageantry or if it's not, it's up to her. But just that being confident in who you are is what's really important. That's one of the aspects that I truly love. And the other aspect is just being able to give back to the community. I've had a lot of really cool opportunities. When you are first awarded your title, your first responsibility is to give back to the community with the donations that they got during our competition. Everybody donates. 10% of your score is donated to community.
Wow, okay.
And so everybody brings in books or toys or school supplies. And so once you're crowned, you take those out into your community. So I got to go to all different places throughout my community and just get to give back to these people that really needed it. And so that was really cool, just to see how much it's influencing them. And school supplies that I was bringing every year for 4 years, I finally got to see where they were going and the impact that they were really making.
Well, that's incredible. That's an awesome way especially to give back in the community. I know a lot of kids need school supplies, so that's incredible that you guys get to do that. So like I said, with your reign coming to a close, What advice do you have for the next girl to wear your crown?
I know, I can't believe this year is already over. It's like really blowing my mind how fast it went. But definitely my first piece of advice to my successor would be enjoy it. It goes so fast. I feel like just yesterday that I finally was getting crowned, and I can't believe in 3 weeks that I'm giving up my title. But to enjoy it and to really use the title to make a difference. I loved getting to give back to my community. I got to help an organization called Steps to Independence, which helps kids that have disabilities, and it's a school that helps them feel normal and so that they can learn. And I got to go and MC their 5K and award the prizes for the winners, and also I got to just like talk to the families and learn about their lives and just that. And also I got to go to my community day, which was really cool because it's where I've grown up, and so it was cool for people to see me and my title and everything. So it's just, I would definitely say enjoy it and give back and just really embrace the time that you have, because you can be amazed at how quickly 365 days go.
I'm sure it does, and I've just started with my reign, and I'm already a couple months in, and it's definitely already flown by, and I can't believe that either, which is crazy, but it's a great experience. Mm-hmm. But so now, with everything coming to a close, what is your next step after pageantry?
So I still have a year left of school at the Ohio State University, and I am majoring in marketing with a minor in entrepreneurship. And with that, I am going into a career of Mary Kay Cosmetics, which is a direct selling company. And I've actually already started. I'm a senior sales consultant with them, and I plan on going into it as a full career and owning my own business with them. And that's what I plan to do once I graduate college, is to really go full force with that.
Wow, okay. So what drove you to start your own business?
Well, my entire life, my mom has been involved in Mary Kay. She's been a sales director my whole life, and I've seen how she's been able to live her life, and it's something that I admire, and I would love to have a life like my mom's when I'm older. Mm-hmm. She never missed an important day of my life growing up, which is something that's huge for me, because the company's founded on God first, family second, and career third, which is the way that I live my life, and a really important thing to me. And so in the future, when I do have a family, I want to be able to be there for those big moments. And I also love the idea of being able to design your own schedule, like to be able to say, like, okay, like for me right now while I'm in school, I have class here, but here I have some time, maybe I can hold an appointment, and just be able to squeeze it in where it's not a boss being like, okay, you're working 5 to 9 and oh, you have to go on the weekend, and I wouldn't deal well with that kind of a job. So for me, it's nice that I get to be able to decide when I want to work and decide when I don't want to work. And another important thing that I love about Mary Kay is it's really founded on empowering women, and it's really cool because with this system, it's all about growing confidence in girls. And Mary Kay is all about empowering women. So it's kind of like I'm growing up and taking that next step of the journey that I've already started. Mm-hmm. And to make women feel good for a living is just something I just can't imagine a better life than that.
And that's awesome. That's incredible, and that's just the kind of thing a lot of us want to aspire to and look up to women like that, because empowering women is so much fun, and I love seeing my friends grow, and I love working with people like you and getting to see how far you've come and all the cool things you've been able to do. So what lessons have you learned from competing in pageantry that you want to bring into your business?
Good question. So I think one of the main things is just going along with the growing confidence that I've been talking about. When I was in pageants, after the first couple of years of competing, I was growing confident in myself, and something that I learned that I really loved to do was help others feel confident. So when we were standing in line getting ready for one of our competitions and everybody's getting nervous, especially the girls who've never competed before, I would talk to them and just like try to calm their nerves by either telling them a funny story or giving them advice from things that I'd learned from the past. And that just like, it made me feel really good when they were less nervous and felt more confident. And then when we would come out, like I sincerely wanted to know how they did. Like I wanted to see them do well. And through that was just something that I loved, that feeling of like helping others. And so going into my Mary Kay business, I am really excited to be able to do that with even just doing a facial. Like you don't ever know what's going on in a woman's life, and maybe me coming in and helping her feel beautiful on the outside is just what she needed to brighten up her day. Or if it's giving her the opportunity to start her own business and change her life, maybe that's what I'm meant to be there for. And I think that's something that's been really cool, is that I'm going to be able to continue helping people feel good about themselves.
Well, that's awesome, Lexie. So right now we're going to take a quick commercial break. You are currently watching the Miss Pittsburgh TV showcase. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back. This is Natalie DiMarino, your host, Miss Pittsburgh 2016, and you're watching the Miss Pittsburgh TV showcase. So I'm still here with Lexie Harmon, and we've been talking all about the incredible things that she's been able to do with her title and now with her new business with Mary Kay Cosmetics. So Lexie, we have been talking about empowering women, and you said that you want to empower women as your business. Tell me a little bit more. How do you get to work with those women personally, but beyond just a facial? How do you get to work with them and continue to empower them?
Oh, great question. So when you first start off, a lot of the times how you meet people is through the facials and just like giving someone a makeover and helping them with skincare. And then a lot of times there's a follow-up appointment to make sure that they enjoy it. But the real way that you get to work with women is when they decide to take on the opportunity to own their own business with Mary Kay. Then while you are helping them and teaching them, you are also getting to help them grow. And it's stepping out of your comfort zone. Like even when I started, even though I'd been surrounded by my whole life, I was terrified. I mean, it was starting something new. It was going to strangers' homes and like teaching them what I do on my face, but still it was like going out of my way to meet people and to remember that it's not just about me, it's about others. And it's fun because when someone learns about the business idea and then they're really intrigued by it, and then when they decide to take that step and go into the business with you, you can almost like watch them start to dream again and like think about the things that they want to do with it. And that's such a cool feeling to know that you were a part of that in a way that helped them. And you can't make them successful without them wanting to be successful, but the people that come into it and have that drive, and it just like kind of wakens them up and they're really excited about it. It's just a really cool transition to see people go from that and then they grow so much and they change for the better and they start to dream again and they get to start living the life that they really want.
That's awesome. And so Mary Kay, from what I understand, offers a lot of opportunities for those who decide to open their own business. What kind of opportunities does that offer for you?
Well, there's all different sorts of ones. So obviously the opportunity to meet a lot of people is one of them. One of my favorite opportunities with it is the relationships that you build. I am a very relationship-filled person. My love language is quality time, so spending time with people is very important to me. And Mary Kay, all of the women that are in Mary Kay, it's not a catty environment. It's truly, they want you to do well. They find something that's been successful for their business and they're like, oh my gosh, you have to try this. Like you need to try this with your business. It's gonna go so far for you. And like I've grown up in the company. So for me, it's been a really cool opportunity because I have like my Mary Kay family, like all of my mom's good friends. I'll see them and they come up to me and run up and give me a hug like they're like my aunt or my long lost sister. And I've even already started to grow friendships of people my own age that are in, because the millennials are starting to really take over Mary Kay as well. And that's what's really cool, is that it's no longer like just like my mom's peers. It's people my age that are successful and driving cars, and you can earn cars and you can earn trips around the world, and even if you wanted to come in and just make a little bit of extra money, there's an opportunity for however you want it to be, whether it's a part-time thing, whether it's to get your makeup 50% off, or whether you want to make a career out of it and change your life. It's just completely up to you, and I think that's one of the really cool opportunities with it.
And that's awesome. So what advice do you have for other young entrepreneurs that want to do the same sort of thing, but they're scared to take that first step?
Well, I think that if there's something out there that makes you passionate, that you think that you can make a difference, or if it's something brand new, I say go for it. I mean, it's terrifying. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is absolutely terrifying, but the rewards are so cool, because if you are passionate about something and you put your whole heart into it and all the effort you can, even if it doesn't go where you thought it was going to go, it might lead you to different opportunities. Or if it doesn't turn out like successful as you thought it was going to be, at least you tried and you went out of your comfort zone and you took that step and grew yourself. And I think that's something that a lot of people are really scared of, is they're scared of failing and they're scared of not having that like cookie cutter life that people expect them to have. And I think especially when you're young, like you just gotta go for it. And if it doesn't work out, then you won't be stuck with those what ifs at least. Because you never want to go through life thinking like, well, what if I would have done this, or what if I would have done that? So I think anybody who has an idea, research it. If you're passionate about it, you'll find a way to make it work.
Awesome, definitely. I know stepping out, and even doing just pageantry and doing your own first pageant, I know that's a lot. It's a lot to get into. It's a lot to take on. You don't know what you're getting into, but it definitely pays off in the end. Just the things you grow, even from competing in Miss Pittsburgh, I've grown so much, which has been a fantastic opportunity. So tell me a little bit, what are your short-term goals for your business?
Short-term goals. Okay, so right now my first goal is to move into a leadership position, and it's called a red jacket or a team builder. And so my goal is to have 3 people that I recruit into the business opportunity, and I just really am excited about it because it's an opportunity to be a leader. I like being a leader. I like helping people, and I just think that to be able to touch 3 lives with the company is just, that can make a difference all on its own. And so that's my first short-term goal. And then as I go back into school, I want to focus on my schooling and finish well through my senior year, and enjoy like college life. I don't want to grow up too quickly, even though it's coming around the corner. But so I really want to do that. And then once I get out of college, or at least towards the end of next semester, I really want to work on earning my first car. That's one of my biggest goals. I was blessed with my parents got me my first car. It's a used car, but it's a car. It gets me from A to B. It's all that matters.
Very true.
And so I was blessed, and I've never had to make a car payment. And so one of my goals is to never make a car payment.
Okay.
And so to earn my first car, so that way I never make a car payment. And my mom has some really big goals for our unit, because in Mary Kay, your unit is all of the people that you recruit and that are underneath you. And it's not one person is successful. It takes a whole group to be successful. And so she has a lot of really big goals coming up for our unit. And so I'm just really excited to be a part of it and do my part to help our whole group to be successful.
And now what are some of those goals that your mother set for your unit?
So she has our biggest goal is, right now my mom is a sales director with Mary Kay, which is a leadership position. So she's a leader of leaders. And what she does is she helps to train women to be successful. And so like she travels and she really like helps people to grow. And what the next level is to be a leader of those leaders. And so my mom's goal is to become a national sales director, which is the highest level in the company. It's like the top 1 or 3%. It's like the top of the top. And that is her next goal, is by next year she wants to be that leader position where she is not only empowering women and training them, but she's traveling the country and she's helping women change their lives. And she has more of an influence even with the company, with the corporate. They take in a lot of their advice to see what's working, what's not working. And so my mom, that's one of her biggest goals right now. And I think it's cool because like her goal is to be that national sales director level, but it doesn't just, she can't just decide that and it be done. Like she has to have people that are running beside her. And so she is not only dreaming herself, she's teaching other people to dream. And she's teaching them, well, like, do you want to earn a car? Because you can. And she's teaching them that they can be a leader too. And so I think that's what's really cool about her goals, are not just something that she's going to gain from. It's everyone around her is going to gain from it too.
Yeah, I mean, she really seems like she's building everybody up so that they're ready to get out there and be their best self and have their best business that they can, which is awesome. So tell me a little bit more about your family. We've heard a little bit about your mom. Tell me a little bit more about them.
All right, so my family, I live in a family, I have a family of 4. So it's my mom, my dad, and then my sister and I. My mom is a Mary Kay sales director, and my dad is the executive at the Bible Chapel. And my sister, who just turned 25 last Saturday, she and I are complete opposites, if you can believe it. Yes, she and I, but we get along great because of it. That's what's really cool about it. And so like I was the pageantry athlete, girly girl, and she was the more of a tomboy, but very musically gifted. So she is like she was musically, classically trained to sing.
Oh, wow.
And lived in New York for a little while. Yeah, so she is the singer of the family. I am not. That's all her. Again, going back to that no talent in my pageant system, because unless you want to win money with it, you don't need to do it. So, but that's just something that I love about our family is that we all have our strengths and weaknesses. And my sister, her strength is singing and her strength is loving people. And it's really cool to be opposites, but still really get along.
Yeah, so is she still close to you, or is she still in New York?
No, she lives here now. She lives in Pittsburgh. She lives about 20 minutes away. So it's nice. So when I come home from school, like we'll all get together and have family dinners. Or last weekend for her birthday, I came home and I surprised her. And like they didn't tell her I was coming. They even had the table set for 3. And I just like popped up and I was like, surprise, happy birthday. So it was really fun. And it's nice to be able to stay close.
That's awesome. That's incredible. So you said you go to the Ohio State. Now, what made you choose to go to college there?
Okay. So my parents both went to Ohio State. So I've grown up going to the games, loving it. I was born in Cincinnati, and then we moved here when I was like 4 or 5. But I love the school. My sister went on a college visit her junior year of high school, so I was in 8th grade. And I was asking questions on her tour. And they were like, so like blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, so excuse me. And my mom was like, you are in 8th grade. Like you aren't even near this point of your life. But I just loved everything about the school. And I loved the opportunities that it had because it's so big. It's like one of the 3rd biggest school in the country or something.
Really?
Yeah, and so it just has so many different opportunities and there's so many different people that you can meet. And I found myself whenever I was going on different college visits comparing the schools to Ohio State.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, well, like they have a really awesome program, but their football team isn't as like big and hurrah. And so after a while, like when I was making my decision, which my parents refused to help me at all because they were so biased towards it, they were like, nope, we're not helping you. And I'm the type of person that like, I like to talk things out. I'm like, okay, like let me give you all the pros and cons and you tell me what I'm leaning towards. And they were like, we can't. Like, so it was very frustrating. But I eventually came to the decision because I was like, there's no school. Like I can't imagine myself rooting against Ohio State in a football game or like not wearing scarlet and gray on a game day. Like it was kind of I already knew, but I was toying with other ideas.
Yeah,
but
gotta check out your other options, right?
Pretended like I was doing that, but really I had already made the decision when I was in 8th grade.
Well, that's awesome. I'm glad you're definitely at a school that fits your personality and fits you so well. So through, schooling and pageantry and sports, who was your biggest mentor through all of that?
Well, I would have to say I have 2, and it might sound cheesy, but it's my parents. When I was an athlete, my dad and I were really close. He was always my soccer coach from as long as I can remember. I never had another coach. And even when I moved up to elite levels, my dad came every game, practice. He was always there. Took me cross country for tournaments, for me to try out for teams. He was just never wavering in building my confidence. And then when I moved to pageantry, he continued to, because he went from soccer coach to pageant escort. He was thrilled. So but he never once wavered on his support. He never was like, this is weird, why are we doing this? We just whenever we talked about it, we kind of talked about it like it was a sport, I was like, yeah, like some people get coaches for private lessons. Some people, you have a uniform, kind of. And you have to practice. So I just looked at it from a competitive standpoint with him, and he helped me keep focused in the competitive standpoint. And when I was doubting myself or something like that, he was like, well, you didn't always know how to do this in soccer, but you learned. And so he was always one of my biggest rocks because he would be backstage with me as I was getting nervous. And my mom has been one of my biggest supporters my whole life. Like I said, she's never missed an important day in my life. She is incredible in the way that she loves and cares for us all and just makes sure that we feel special. And when I moved to pageantry, she was also my rock. Like she was there for the tears, she was there for the dress fittings, for the crying over my hair, for like all of the things that no one sees behind closed doors or like me freaking out as I'm about to go on stage. She's been my rock and my biggest supporter, and I could not imagine doing this without her.
Well, that's awesome. And I've met both of them, and I know they're both so kind and warm-hearted towards everyone, and I'm not surprised that they backed you 110%. So thank you so much for being with us today. Lexie and I had a great time talking, and we will be having our next show soon. You can catch our next show on PCTV 21 in the city and channel 41 in the county. And that's all I have for you today. This is Natalie DiMarino, Miss Pittsburgh 2016.